Welcome to a segment I like to call That Sounds Miserable. Someone sent me a bunch of screenshots from like a while ago, so these aren't recent in the least bit. Let's take a look. I'm going to shrink myself and you can pause to read. I'm due in October with baby number 6. We're living in an RV right now, and at this point, it's looking like we still won't have power or hot water when I birth. I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure your kids are supposed to have power and hot water. I might be wrong, but I feel that that's kind of like a CPS situation. I'm not going to shame these people for living in an RV. I'm reminded of a fundy I follow who has 8 kids on a bus, and she's very smug and she annoys me. I'm not going to shame people for living on buses and RVs, but 6 kids seems like a lot. And I feel like kids have the right to some space, their own personal space. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going. I obviously have a lot of thoughts about this, but I feel like they start kind of dipping into it's just hard to have where's the overlap of classism and and just I don't know, are these kids' needs being met? No electricity and no water bothers me. 6 kids in an RV bothers me. Anyway, I'm going to keep those thoughts to myself. I'm trying to come to terms with the fact that it's probably not going to happen. I've gone through my other options of giving birth, hotel. Don't give birth in a hotel, please. Borrowing someone's house. None of them seem like they will pan out. It's looking like a land birth in an RV. This person goes on to say that she wants to have a water birth, so she's very scared about this whole situation, okay? There's a lot going on here. She's like, it's going to be messy. I don't know what to do. Do I need towels? Should I get a shower curtain? You can read it on your own. There's a lot. Here's the second part of that. And here are some of the comments. I can't do water. I only had 1 water baby, and that's because I couldn't get out of the tub. I like to labor on the toilet. Then I have a lotus placenta. Then I drink some bone broth and liver. That sounds miserable. I had babies 7, 8, and 9 in an RV. That sounds miserable. 8 and 9 were born in a class A with no slides. This is RV talk, and I don't really understand it. No hot water for my winter births, no AC for my August babe. That sounds miserable. My most recent one, my husband warmed water on the stove for our little shower bathtub. It was just enough to get a little break. Okay, you get it, right? That sounds miserable. You can definitely give birth without water. It will be different, but you are strong. Maybe a crock pot of warm water? Put a hot towel across your low back, a cold towel on your forehead. But can I just say, wow, 6 kids in an RV, and you look so young. I've done it. My hubby actually filled a kiddie pool with hot water from the stove for me. We are stationary, and I honestly sat down and couldn't stay there because I couldn't sit, etc., etc., etc. I literally gave birth squatting and catching my littles. That sounds miserable. I mean, to me, that sounds miserable. It's probably way better for you to give birth that way, but to me, it sounds miserable. My son was recently born at home in our 36-meter square cottage. We didn't have water either. That sounds miserable. Okay, look. How are all these people surviving without water? Perhaps I am a snob. But when I don't have access to water for some reason, I lose my mind. If I can't take a hot bath or shower, I absolutely lose my shit. Our water heater went out once, and I demanded that the landlord put us in a hotel until he fixed it. It's just, I'm not walking around with no water. I'm sorry. Nor should these people be. Water to me is a human right. so many of these free birthers like live off the grid and are like, just like no water, I don't understand it. Give me water and give me my television. I'm sorry. Cleanup was awkward, though. I couldn't get a shower until a week after. So I had a friend come over and help me get a bucket of soapy water and clean myself as best I could. That sounds miserable. The night I gave birth, our propane ran out and our pipes froze because of it, which meant we woke up with no heat and no water. I had to hand wash our cloth diapers. I was shivering and chilling all night long, trying to nurse my baby and our 2-year-old and keep him from laying on the baby, feeling blood gush out of the sides of my underwear onto the only bedding I had access to, lack of laundry facilities. All of this sounds miserable. What is the purpose of oh my God, my husband is cooking in the other room and it's super loud. What is the purpose of me reading all this? Well, it's the fact that all of it sounds very miserable. I don't know if you picked up on it. No water. Millions of kids in the RVs. I need to know what these women think is good about this sort of life. And I'm not implying that, like, these aren't good moms. Like, I don't know anything about them. But, and, maybe they're super loving and caring people. But first of all, I have a lot of doubts as to how you can show adequate love and support to 8, 9, 10 children equally without a parentification thing happening like you see with Carissa Collins. And I don't know. I know a lot of free birthers will be like, well, our ancestors lived this way. But the thing is, our ancestors would not want us to live that way still, I don't think. Like, imagine going back in time and showing one of your ancestors, like, Succession. Their minds would be fucking blown. Or, like, a heating pad. Or running hot water. Like, I want to know how these children are being raised adequately, safely, and happily. I don't know. It just sounds crazy to me. And I'm sorry, but it seems like a lot of unnecessary suffering. Is that the point? Like, do they get points? Does the crunchy community get points the more they suffer? Are they like Catholic moms? I don't know. Oh, this sounds miserable. That shower I had after I had my son and my daughter, best shower of my life. No one sopped me down with a soapy bucket of water. I mean, you do what you have to, when you have to. But to me, all this seems like a choice. And it sounds miserable. Just miserable.